It's not just Disney Marvel that is the idiots with the MCU and all the crap they put out on Disney Plus. The comic books are bad as well, which we've known that for a while, but now we have another stupid thing said by the Marvel executive editor. So this is Tom Brevoort, I believe. Yes, it is. He rejects the idea that Peter and MJ should get back together due to the popularity of alternate Spider-Man. It doesn't really make a convincing argument to me at all. Oh, dear good God almighty. So let's hear what this idiot has to say here. So here, first off, he says, the difference between sales in Ultimate Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man is relatively slim. You are fucking coping. It's not like Ultimate is doing twice or three times the business or anything. Bro, we have the numbers! Yes, it is! And secondly, I don't think the success of Ultimate at the moment is just down to Peter and MJ being married with it. I think it has a lot more to do with the quality of work that Jonathan Hickman and Marco, Checchetto are producing. Yes, MJ and Peter being married is not the only reason Ultimate Spider-Man is doing well. Okay, we like it because it tells a good story, right? Jonathan Hickman is writing a good story with Ultimate Spider-Man. He's doing a good job. He's doing the only good thing in this reboot of Ultimate Marvel. Okay? He's writing a good story. A huge part of that good story is Peter and MJ being married with kids. So I get that people who want Pete and MJ back together are of course going to point to that series. But the truth is, it doesn't make a convincing argument to me at all. I've been around this particular sort of block too many times over the year to mistake the signals. Bro. Bro. I can't believe what I'm hearing, dude. Oh my god, this is the freaking Paul thing, isn't it? Right here. Yes. Oh my god, Zeb Wells is gone. Thank god. Bro, okay. What's a huge thing that turned people off from 616 Spider-Man? When you had Pete and MJ split up in One More Day. One More Day killed a lot of your Spider-Man fans. They left. Why? Because you had Spider-Man sell his marriage to the devil. A marriage that everyone reading Spider-Man loved. We all loved it. We loved him being with MJ because he was happy. MJ was his rock. She was the thing that was keeping him from losing it all. She was the support system that he needed. And then you just tore it away. Because for some reason you don't want Spider-Man to be tied down or something, and instead we have to keep making him rehash the same freaking 5 stories over and over again. And then, when I believe it was Nick Spencer did Back to Basics, and he put Peter and MJ back together, the sales went back up. Because a huge part of the appeal of Spider-Man is seeing him and Mary Jane just be together as a couple. That's what people want. Peter Parker and Mary Jane is like one of the definitive comic book couples. It's up there with Superman and Lois, Batman and Catwoman, right? It's up there. Those are like the big 3 probably. And just being like, oh well, because the other comic has them together with kids and it's selling well, that doesn't mean we have to do it in the mainline universe. You know what? You probably should if you want to sell comics and make money. Notice how all the variant covers of Ultimate Spider-Man is like pretty much them together, and they sell like in numbers. Because this is what people want. This image right here is what people want with Spider-Man, which is Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson together. And this dumbass says, well, you know, it's not completely down to that. I think it's because the stories, you know, that they're telling is good. And you're right. The story they're telling is good. It's a really good story by Jonathan Hickman. Props to you, sir. You get a tiny clap. But you know what a huge part of that story is? The fact that Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson are married with 2 children. And Peter's kind of training his son to kind of be like maybe a future superhero. right? His daughter for a while, it was a secret between him and his daughter. Like, this is what people want. They just want Spider Family. They want Spider Dad. Because it's like, we don't hate... I don't think this is the thing. I don't think people hate the idea of Peter Parker going to college, being in a dumpy apartment, right? Working for the Daily Bugle, struggling to get those photos. And, the Peter Parker aspect of his life kind of suffers because he does Spider-Man. I don't think people mind that. The problem is that you do it all the time. Like, that's the instant reset. The instant reset is, just put him back in a crappy apartment and just have him break up with whoever he's dating. Like, that's the instant thing you do. We're tired of it. It's gone on far too long. This is what people want. And anytime you try, a writer tries to course correct and be like, okay, I'm going to put them back together, instantly you smack them down and go, no, we can't do this. And now this guy's also saying this. We know Tom Brevoort's also saying this because of what he said a couple months ago. That there's a mandate in place in Marvel Comics that Peter and MJ legitimately cannot get back together. They cannot get married again. Like, this is insane. Like, all the evidence proves that this is what you need to do. You need to put Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson back together. Of course, just them being together it's gonna sell comics instantly. Just saying, hey, Peter and Mary Jane are back together, you're instantly gonna get a rush of people who jump back on. Of course, they need to be written well, which is what Jonathan Hickman's done, right? And a lot of writers with these two just had to write them well. J. Michael Straczynski, I think he did a good job, writing this couple until, he had Peter sell her off to the devil. But this is just crazy, dude. Like, you don't want money, do you? Like, this right here tells me that you outright just don't care anymore about money. Because this is, like, putting Peter and MJ back together in Amazing Spider-Man would pull that sucker out from the depths of hell it's fallen to. Ultimate Spider-Man is continuously, like, one of the best-selling comics Marvel has right now. Like, and the fact you wouldn't want to try and replicate that in the mainline Spider-Man continuity is completely and utter bonkers. And more or less, again, just proves to me how the people in charge of the comic book industry right now, you got no idea what you're doing. You have no idea what you're doing and what your audience wants. And that's why the American comic book industry is in the place it is. It's a dying industry. This is why Diamond Publishing went under. Because no one's buying. Because you don't make decisions that would entice people to buy your comic books. You don't do it. There's only a select few of, like, mainline Marvel and DC comics that actually sell and make money. Ultimate Spider-Man is one of them. And you just don't want to try and be like, well, our offshoot comic here is kind of doing well. Why don't we try and replicate what they're doing in the mainline comics because, people seem to like that. Nah, just be like, that's not. Idiots. All of you. You're all idiots. So let me know what you think about this awful take in the comments down below. And I'll see you all next time.